we have heard from some pretty high-level politicians, particularly within the opposition coalition, that former ministers, etc., who have come out with some pretty strong language about what is happening in relation to the farmer-herdsman conflict. And one of the things you hear is, this notion that, you hear insults about cow loving and about how people don't value lives. There's so many things, even ethnic slurs, etc. How do you think we can get to a point where if you go on social media, you see young people buying in to what these individuals are, these purported leaders are saying? How do we separate the issues of fact and the issues of solution from some of these other political sentiments that are really dividing our people across the country?
Thank you very much, Andrew. I'm very active on the social media, especially on Facebook. I like doing Facebook. And in all honesty, sometimes I tremble at the amount of hatred I see dripping from the Facebook, and mostly by young people. But from who do these young people take their ideas? They look at it from political leaders. We're a very religious country, so when a pastor or an imam says something, some people without even making any research, that is the idea of the Nigerian, he will take it because my pastor has said that, or my imam or my sheikh has said that. So they owe a duty to really civilize their language. And in all honesty, I make it a personal duty. I work as a private person to really check off some of these allegations. For example, if you say a certain person moved into a certain village and sacked certain houses and take over the house, I think this is something that can be easily proved or disproved, because we have the former owner of the house, we have the person who has sat there. So, but in all honesty, like I said, the political, religious, and traditional rulers will just have to be responsible in their utterances.
Before I send you over to Lagos very quickly, we have this solution that's been presented that apparently there will be establishment of ranches run by the private sector with schools and all these kinds of facilities in the ranch to educate the children of herders. Do you believe that that is practicable within the Nigerian context?
It is practicable within any context. What do I mean? Government all over the world, the primary responsibility is to provide security for the people against external threats and even against internal threats when people are fighting among themselves.
At this juncture, I'm going to throw it over to Lagos, where my colleague Chamberlain is standing by. Chamberlain?
Yeah, thank you, Ajay. I've got a question. I mean, I heard you say that with a view to seeking a solution, both of them, both the farmers and the herders, the farmers themselves have got to understand that, first you said the herders have to understand that they have to change their age-long strategy, which is moving around and stay in one place. And then you also said the farmers have also got to understand that the herders have got to, or have a right to access everywhere. I just thought that kind of sounded contradictory, because if you're staying in one place, how do you access everywhere? But the question is, we have several people who have said that their communities are being occupied by these herdsmen. In seeking a solution, can we move forward without addressing that particular issue as to them leaving the area and the rightful owners occupying their land?
The question that my colleague, I know you're having challenges hearing, he's asking about whether there's a contradiction to the notion that the herders should have access to land around the country, and at the same time we're saying that the solution should be that they should essentially be made steady and still within the context of a ranch. He's asking whether or not there's a contradiction in that position.
There is no contradiction. When you say a ranch, we all know what a ranch is, or at least have an idea what a ranch is. It's a stable place where people will stay, to raise their cattle, feed will be brought, water will be brought there. So I do not see. The only movement that we cannot preclude, of course, it is a non-fact that there is a lot of consumption of this beef or this cattle in the south, so you cannot stop that movement. So again, I think that is one issue that the laws will have to look at. Wherever the cattle are raised, you still have to move them. So there's still some element of movement.
To get them to the sites where they will be cultivated. Where the market is.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Or even across to the consumer markets. There are a lot of trucks that move from the north to Lagos to Pt.2, yes.
That's a fine place to leave it. Our group captain, Sadiq Shehu, thank you so much for coming on the program and sharing your thoughts with us this morning.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.